Here's a strange thing about money. The expenses that quietly wreck most budgets aren't the ones nobody saw coming. They're the ones everybody saw coming and chose to ignore. The new set of tires, the holidays, the insurance bill that lands at the exact same time every single year. We call them surprises, but they're not surprises at all. They're appointments we simply forgot to save for. So today, in plain English, I'm going to show you the boring little trick that makes these money surprises stop hurting. For good. It costs you nothing new. It just changes when you pay. Think back to the last time your budget quietly fell apart. There's a good chance it wasn't a real emergency. Nobody ended up in the hospital. The car wasn't totaled in a crash. What actually happened was something smaller and far more predictable. The car needed 4 new tires. Or December arrived, carrying gifts, travel, and a bigger grocery bill, the way it does every single year. Or the twice-a-year car insurance premium hit all at once, right after a slow month. On paper, none of this should be shocking. You knew tires wear down. You knew the holidays were coming. And yet every time the bill feels like an ambush from behind, because the money to cover it simply wasn't there when it landed. So you reach for a credit card. You promise yourself you'll clear it next month. And the slow grinding cycle of debt starts up all over again. The frustrating part is that nothing here was unpredictable. The trap was never the expense itself. The trap was the timing. If calm, practical money habits are what you came here for, take a second and subscribe. That's the entire point of this channel, one simple system at a time. Okay, here's the fix, and it has a slightly unglamorous name: the sinking fund. A sinking fund is money you set aside a little at a time on purpose for a specific expense you know is coming, even when you don't know the exact day it'll arrive. The idea is actually centuries old. Governments and businesses have used sinking funds for generations to quietly prepare for one big future payment instead of getting crushed by it. But the same trick works beautifully on an ordinary household budget, and the move itself is simple. You take an expense that lands once a year, and instead of getting flattened by the whole thing in a single month, you spread it across all 12. A small amount every month, quietly moved into its own labeled bucket. Then, when the bill finally shows up, you don't panic, and you don't borrow. You just walk over to the bucket, and the money is already sitting there, waiting for you. Nothing to scramble for, nothing to put on a card. The emergency, in effect, was canceled months ago, back when it was small enough to handle. That is the whole magic of it. You trade one big painful shock for 12 small painless ones. Now, this is exactly where people get tangled up. So let's make it clean. A sinking fund is not the same thing as an emergency fund. And you genuinely want both, doing 2 different jobs. Your emergency fund is for the truly unexpected: a sudden job loss, a trip to the ER, the storm you could not have seen coming. It's the fire extinguisher you hope you never have to touch. A sinking fund is almost the opposite. It's for the expenses you can absolutely see coming, but that don't show up every month. Think of it less like a fire extinguisher and more like the calendar hanging on your wall. You already know these dates are on their way: the birthdays, the renewals, the tune-ups. So all you're doing is getting quietly ready for them, on your own schedule, instead of being caught flat-footed. One fund is for chaos. The other is for the perfectly obvious. Let me make this real, because the numbers are where it truly clicks. Sit down for a second and picture one entire year of so-called surprises for a pretty ordinary household. Start with the car, maintenance and repairs. Oil changes, brake pads, a set of tires waiting somewhere down the road. Call it $1,200 across the year. Then the holidays, the gifts, the travel, the extra food, and the little traditions. Say another $600. Car insurance, if you pay it in 2 big lump sums instead of monthly, might run around $1,200 a year. Add in a handful of annual subscriptions and renewals, maybe $200. Back to school shopping or a couple of birthdays you refuse to skimp on, another $400. And let's be honest and toss in one dental visit or vet bill that insurance doesn't fully cover. Say $200 more. Now add all of that up. You land at roughly $3,800 a year. And every dollar of it was completely foreseeable. Here's the thing: $3,800 dropped on you at random moments across the year is more or less the exact shape of a maxed-out credit card. But watch what happens when you simply flip it around. 3,800 divided by 12 comes out to about $317 a month. That's the real number, the one that quietly does all the work. Set aside roughly $320 a month, and every single one of those so-called surprises is already paid for before it ever reaches you. Same expenses, same income, same life. The only thing that changed was the timing. And the timing, as we said, was the whole problem in the first place. If that little reframe just made something click for you, go ahead and subscribe so the next breakdown finds you automatically. So here's how to actually build this for yourself in 4 simple steps. Step 1. Make the list. Grab a sheet of paper or open a note on your phone and write down every expense that hits once in a while, but not every month. The usual suspects: car repairs, insurance premiums, holidays and gifts, annual subscriptions, medical and dental costs, home maintenance, pet care, and property taxes if they aren't already bundled into your mortgage. Most people, doing this for the very first time, are a little stunned at how long that list turns out to be. And honestly, that quiet shock is the whole point, because those are the exact things that have been ambushing your budget, month after month, for years. Seeing them all written down in one place is where this starts to work. Step 2. Put a rough yearly number next to each one, and then divide the total by 12. You do not need perfect figures here. Last year's rough estimate is more than good enough to start. Add up every line, divide by 12, and just like that, you've got a single monthly number. That one number is the amount that makes this entire pile of expenses stop being a problem. It won't feel like much on any given payday, but it is doing something powerful in the background. It's turning every future ambush into a bill you have already calmly paid. Step 3. Automate it and keep the buckets separate. This is the part that makes the whole system actually stick. Set up an automatic transfer, timed for the day right after you get paid, moving that monthly amount into savings. Ideally, a high-yield savings account where your money earns a little something extra while it patiently waits. Many of these accounts now let you split your savings into separate labeled buckets, one for the car, one for the holidays, one for insurance, so you can literally watch each fund fill up on its own. If your bank doesn't offer that, don't worry. A plain second savings account works perfectly well. You just keep a simple list of the categories yourself, so you always know which dollars are already spoken for. And step 4. When the bill finally arrives, actually use the fund, and then refill it. This sounds almost too obvious to say out loud, but it's exactly where the discipline lives. The tires wear out, you pay for them straight from the car bucket, completely guilt-free, because that is precisely what it was there for. Then you let your monthly transfer quietly build it back up for next time. Spend, refill, repeat. Give it one full turn around the calendar, and something genuinely surprising happens. The panic just drains out of your money. The bills still come. You're simply no longer afraid of them because you can already see they're covered. So let's bring it all home. The expenses that blow up budgets usually aren't real emergencies at all. They're predictable bills you just hadn't set money aside for yet. A sinking fund fixes that by turning one painful yearly hit into 12 small, forgettable ones. List out your irregular expenses, total them up, and divide by 12. Automate the transfer into separate, clearly labeled buckets. And when the moment finally comes, spend from the fund without flinching, then fill it right back up. Do this for one full year, and you'll notice something quietly wonderful. The money surprises simply stop. Not because life stopped throwing things at you, but because you started catching them long before they landed. If this made your budget feel a little more under control, subscribe, because next time, we're tackling something a lot of people are quietly struggling with right now. Student loan defaults are surging, and we'll walk through exactly how to get out of default and stay out. And the usual reminder before you go, this is general education, not financial advice. Your numbers and your situation are your own. So run them yourself and talk to a qualified professional about what's right for you.